Welcome to Winners Without Gambling International's WWGI TV channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your efforts go a long way in supporting the organization. Gambling addiction is often misunderstood. Many people think stopping gambling is just a matter of willpower. They say things like, just stop, be stronger, think about your family, control yourself. And sometimes, the person struggling with gambling says the same things to themselves. They wake up after a painful loss and say, "This is the last time. I am done. I will never gamble again." And in that moment, they mean it. They are not lying. They are not pretending. They truly want to stop. But then, days later, or sometimes even hours later, the urge returns. The phone is nearby. The betting site is one tap away. The memory of the loss is still painful. The mind starts bargaining. Maybe I can win it back. Just one small bet. I will stop after this. Nobody has to know. And suddenly, the same person who promised to stop finds themselves back in the same cycle. This is why willpower alone is not enough. Not because the person is weak. Not because they do not care. Not because they are a bad person. But because gambling addiction is not simply a bad habit. Gambling addiction is a powerful loop involving emotion, stress, hope, shame, reward, escape, and repetition. Willpower is important, but willpower gets tired. It becomes weaker when a person is stressed, lonely, ashamed, or desperate. It becomes weaker when there is money in the account. It becomes weaker after payday. It becomes weaker late at night. And it becomes weaker when the person is trying to fight everything alone. Gambling companies understand this. They do not depend on your willpower being strong. They depend on your weakest moment. They make access easy. They make deposits fast. They send promotions. They create urgency. They use bright screens, quick bets, near wins, bonuses, and constant availability. The gambling environment is designed to pull people back in. So if the environment is working against you, recovery cannot depend only on what is inside your head. Recovery needs structure. It needs support. It needs barriers. It needs honesty. It needs delay. It needs people. It needs tools. A person trying to stop gambling needs more than a promise made after a painful loss. They need a plan for the moment when the urge comes back. Because the urge will come back. That does not mean recovery has failed. It means the brain is asking for the old escape route. The question is not, will I ever feel the urge again? The better question is, what will be in place when the urge comes? This is where many people make a mistake. They wait until the urge arrives before they start looking for help. But by then, the mind is already negotiating. The body is already tense. The thoughts are already racing. The person is already trying to convince themselves that one more bet will solve everything. Recovery works better when support is already in place before the urge arrives. Think of it like building a fence before the storm. You do not build the fence while the wind is already destroying everything. You build it while you are calm. You build it while you can think clearly. You build it because you know difficult moments will come. For gambling recovery, that fence can include telling someone you trust, joining a support community, blocking gambling websites, removing gambling apps, and planning before payday. The fence can also include avoiding extra cash, writing down what gambling has cost you, using self-exclusion, checking in with someone before financial decisions, and reminding yourself what you are trying to protect. The goal is not to prove that you are strong enough to fight alone. The goal is to make gambling harder to reach when your mind is vulnerable. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. A person recovering from gambling addiction should not be ashamed of needing support. Nobody recovers well in isolation. Isolation feeds gambling. Shame feeds gambling. Secrets feed gambling. The moment a person starts talking honestly, the addiction loses some of its power. This is why community matters. When someone hears another person say, "I have been there," something changes. They realize they are not the only one. They realize their story is not strange. They realize their pain can be understood. And sometimes, that small moment of being understood can stop a relapse. A recovery community can do what willpower alone cannot do. It can remind you who you are when you forget. It can encourage you when you feel ashamed. It can help you stand up after a relapse. It can celebrate progress that other people may not understand. 1 day without gambling matters. 7 days matters. 30 days matters. 6 months matters. 1 year matters. Every day matters because every day is evidence that change is possible. But recovery is not only about the person who gambles. Gambling addiction affects families, partners, children, friends, colleagues, and communities. Many people around the gambler carry pain quietly. They deal with broken promises. They deal with missing money. They deal with anger, fear, confusion, and emotional exhaustion. They may not know where to speak. They may feel embarrassed. They may feel guilty for being angry. They may wonder if they are the only ones going through it. Their voices matter too. A healthier recovery environment must make space for both sides. The person trying to stop gambling needs support. The people affected by gambling harm also need support, education, and a place to be heard safely. This is one reason community-based solutions are so important. They help people see the full picture. Gambling harm is not just about money lost on a betting slip. It is about trust. It is about relationships. It is about mental health. It is about debt. It is about children watching stress in the home. It is about people losing peace. It is about communities becoming used to gambling as if it has no cost. To fight something this deep, we need more than willpower. We need awareness. We need tools. We need accountability. We need practical barriers. And we need spaces where people can speak without being destroyed by shame. This is why organizations like Winners Without Gambling International exist. WWGI is building a recovery-focused community for people who want to stop gambling, and for people affected by gambling addiction. The idea is simple but powerful. Do not leave people alone with the urge. Do not leave families alone with the pain. Do not wait until everything has collapsed before support becomes available. Create a place where recovery can be encouraged every day. Create a place where stories can be shared safely. Create a place where people can track progress. Create a place where someone can pause during an urge and reach for help instead of reaching for another bet. And because gambling is now so accessible through phones, recovery support also needs digital protection. A person can be sincere about stopping, but if gambling websites and apps are always one tap away, the risk remains high. This is where blocking tools can become part of the recovery plan. Not as a magic solution, not as a guarantee, but as a barrier, a delay, a moment of interruption. Sometimes, recovery is saved by a few extra seconds. A blocked page, a reminder, a pause, a reason to breathe, a reason to think again, a reason to reach out. WWGI Shield was created for that kind of support. It is designed to work alongside WWGI platform as a stricter gambling content blocking companion. The purpose is not to replace personal commitment. The purpose is to protect personal commitment when it is under pressure. Because commitment made in a calm moment needs protection during a weak moment. That is the real issue with willpower. Willpower may be strong in the morning. But what happens at midnight? What happens after stress? What happens after an argument? What happens after payday? What happens after seeing a gambling advert? What happens when the person feels hopeless and wants one more chance to win everything back? Recovery tools exist for those moments. Recovery tools do not make the person less responsible. They help the person act on the responsibility they already chose. There is no shame in using support. There is no shame in blocking access. There is no shame in asking someone to help you stay accountable. There is no shame in starting again. The real danger is pretending that willpower alone is enough, then blaming yourself when the same cycle repeats. A better approach is to be honest. Say, I want to stop, but I need support. I want to stop, but I need barriers. I want to stop, but I need people around me. I want to stop, but I need tools that help me when I am not thinking clearly. That is not weakness. That is recovery becoming practical. If you are struggling with gambling, do not wait until you feel strong enough. Start building support now. Talk to someone. Remove easy access. Join a recovery community. Use tools that create distance between you and gambling. Track your progress. Celebrate small wins. Prepare for urges before they arrive. And if you are someone affected by another person's gambling, your pain matters too. You also deserve support. You also deserve to be heard. You also deserve information, community, and a safe place to speak. Gambling addiction grows in silence. Recovery grows through honesty, support, structure, and action. Willpower can start the journey, but willpower should not have to carry the whole journey alone. The stronger path is community plus commitment, support plus honesty, tools plus accountability, hope plus practical barriers. That is how recovery becomes more than a promise. That is how it becomes a daily system. Day by day, step by step, people can rebuild. They can rebuild trust. They can rebuild peace. They can rebuild their finances. They can rebuild relationships. They can rebuild themselves. If you or someone you know is affected by gambling harm, you are not alone. WWGI is here to help build awareness, support recovery, and create stronger digital barriers against gambling access. Visit WWGI online. Follow the official channels, download the official WWGI Android apps, and take the next step. Not because willpower does not matter, but because your recovery deserves more than willpower alone. If you found this video helpful and informative, please share it with the people you believe will benefit from this awareness. We would also like to know your thoughts on the topic, so use the comment section to let us know your thoughts, or suggest a topic regarding this issue that we can shed some light on in future videos. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.